What does it take for one person to change history? On June 15, 1389 at Kosovo Polje, the Field of Blackbirds, two massive armies faced off, their fates set to shape the Balkans for centuries. The Ottoman Empire, a rising force from the east, sought to expand deep into Europe, driven by ambition and destiny. Opposing them was a coalition of Balkan forces, a Christian alliance determined to halt the Ottoman advance. This was more than a battle. It was a fight for faith, future, and the soul of their homelands. The stakes were immense. For the Ottomans, a gateway to Europe. For the Balkans, survival itself. The field was a sea of soldiers, Ottoman janissaries and Sipahi cavalry on one side, Serbian knights and archers on the other. Outnumbered but resolute, the Balkan alliance knew retreat was not an option. The air was thick with tension, the silence before a storm. This day would become legend, a moment of ultimate sacrifice and defiance. It's not just a story of armies, but of leaders who gambled everything, and a single knight whose name would echo through history. To understand the world today, we must look back at moments like these, where courage became immortal. The choices made here would determine the fate of nations. This is the story of Kosovo. At the heart of this clash stood two leaders, Sultan Murad I and Prince Lazar. Murad, a seasoned conqueror and devout Muslim, had spent his life expanding the Ottoman Empire. For him, Kosovo was the final step to secure his legacy and Ottoman dominance in Europe. Opposing him, Prince Lazar united the fractured Serbian lords, determined to defend his people and faith at any cost. Murad was a centralizing emperor, Lazar, a feudal lord fighting for survival. Their motivations were as different as their banners, one seeking conquest, the other defending home. On that fateful morning, both men felt the weight of history. By day's end, one would fall, and the fate of their nations would be forever changed. Their destinies and those of their people were bound to the outcome of this single brutal battle. The will of these two leaders set the stage for everything that followed. As battle raged, one Serbian knight made a choice that would change everything: Milos Obilic. Known for his bravery, Obilic saw that only a bold act could disrupt the Ottoman juggernaut. He pretended to defect, approaching the Ottoman camp as a supposed traitor. Brought before Sultan Murad, Obilic knelt in submission. In a flash, he drew a hidden dagger and struck, mortally wounding the Sultan. Guards killed Obilic instantly, but his mission was complete. The Sultan, the invincible conqueror, had fallen to a single, desperate act. Chaos erupted in the Ottoman camp as news of Murad's death spread. Obilic's sacrifice was total. He traded his life for a chance to turn the tide. The leadership of the Ottoman army was decapitated in the midst of battle. For a moment, the impossible had happened. The fate of the battle and the region hung in the balance. Murad's assassination sent shockwaves through the Ottoman ranks. For a moment, confusion reigned, but Murad's son Bayezid acted swiftly. He kept his father's death secret, executed his own brother to secure the throne, and launched a furious counterattack. The Ottomans, driven by vengeance, crashed into the Serbian lines. The tide turned, the outnumbered Balkan forces began to break. Prince Lazar was captured and brought before Bayezid, who showed no mercy. Lazar and many Serbian nobles were executed on the field. Both rulers, Murad and Lazar, fell that day, their armies battered and broken. There was no clear victor, but the Ottomans had a new leader ready. Serbia, devastated and leaderless, was left vulnerable for generations. The battle's outcome would echo for centuries. The Field of Blackbirds became a graveyard for kings and a turning point for the Balkans. The Battle of Kosovo marked the beginning of the end for independent Serbia, soon to become an Ottoman vassal. Yet, in Serbian memory, it became a symbol of defiance and sacrifice, not defeat. Prince Lazar is revered as a martyr who chose faith and honor over life. Milos Obilic became the ultimate Serbian hero, his daring act a beacon of courage. Their stories inspired generations, turning loss into a spiritual triumph. The battle's legacy is complex, a source of pride, a tool for nationalism, and a timeless human drama. It asks us what we would risk for our beliefs. Even in darkness, one person's courage can shine as hope. The tale of Kosovo reminds us, sacrifice and bravery can outlive the battlefield. This is the legacy of Kosovo, where courage became legend.